Happy Movement Monday, everybody, or whatever day you're watching this. Today I'm going to bring you a upper body mobility workout specifically for our shoulders. And if you've been following me for a while, my philosophy is minimum effective dose. So what's the least amount we can do to get the greatest results? So today I'm just going to show you 3 movements that are really going to maximize your shoulder mobility so you can start feeling looser and better in minutes. And the first 2 moves I'm going to show from a kneeling position, but if you don't feel comfortable on your knees, then by all means you could do these moves standing up or at the edge of a chair. So the first movement we're going to do is what we call a shoulder car, and car just stands for controlled articular rotation. So that's taking a joint through its maximum range of motion. So what that looks like, and I'll show it from the side, we're going to do 3 on each side here, is I'm going to have my arm palm facing forward. I'm going to bring my hand across midline as I bring my shoulder up into flexion until I feel like I run out of real estate here. And then I'm going to twist my thumb outward, or we call that internal rotation, while I go behind me into that extension. And I'm thinking about carving out a massive circle with my shoulder. Again, this should be difficult, should be feeling like you're moving through molasses. And then I start to reverse it. So I'm extending, and then I open my palm up towards the camera or towards the wall, and then I bring that movement back through to the other side. That was just 1 rep there. So let me show you another one from the side, carving out the biggest circle possible. And if you can tell, when you master these, you don't want to compensate through the shoulder blade or the spine. You just want to try to isolate that mobility through the actual shoulder or glenohumeral joint itself. Again, I reverse it, go as far as I can until it's sticky. If you have any pain or discomfort with this, just kind of carve around it, so then you can still train most of your range of motion without making any symptoms worse. I'll show you my last rep from the front here. So I'm bringing that hand in front of me, carving out as much range as I can in the front. Then I run out of real estate. Then I twist as I start reaching behind me, still trying to carve out as much of that range as possible. And then you guessed it, I reverse it, bring it open as soon as I run out of real estate, and then open it to the other side. Again, as big of a circle as you can control. So now I'm going to move on to my left side. So same thing, carving out the middle as much as possible. You'll see I'm trying to limit as much of that movement from that shoulder and spine. So it's going to feel hard, which is totally natural, especially if you've never done a move like this before. So I reverse it, open it up, keep opening up as I bring it through. Beautiful. I'll do 1 more from the front here. Again, we're just doing 3 on each side, just because these take a little bit longer than your average exercise, but they're very effective. So 3 reps is plenty. So reverse it, open it up, again trying to carve out as much as possible until we bring it all the way back through. Last rep, I'll show it from the side. Again, going across midline, up into that flexion, start to internally rotate, bringing that shoulder or arm behind us. Again, I feel some crickly cracklies, but it's not painful. Again, if you have any pain, just kind of carve around or avoid that painful range, just so you don't make any of your symptoms worse. There was move number 1. Move number 2, we're gonna do what we call a scapular car. So hopefully you're catching on that a car is controlled articular rotation, but our scapula is our shoulder blade, so we're just gonna isolate this movement from the shoulder blade. So again, you could do this standing, but I'm gonna show you in this kneeling position. First, arm's gonna be right out in front of us, so I'm training my left side first. First, I'm gonna hike that shoulder up, and then I'm gonna protract or reach forward, just trying to move through my shoulder blade. Then I'm gonna come down or depress, and then back or retract, and then elevate, and then we're gonna reverse it. So bring it down, pack it, protract, elevate, bring it back, boom. There's 1 rep, we're just gonna do 3 here. So then we're gonna reverse it, so we elevate, protract, down, retract, elevate, reverse, depress, out and forward, up, back, down. 1 more. Up, forward, down, back, up, down, forward, up, and then back. Quick 3 reps, but again, we're just moving through the shoulder blade. It's not as mobile as the actual shoulder joint itself. So for this next one, I'll actually show you from the back so you can see what the shoulder blade's doing during it. So for this, we're gonna start arm out in front. First thing I'm gonna do is elevate. I'm gonna protract, bring it down, bring it back, elevate, and then reverse. Depress, protract, elevate, retract, down. There's 1 rep. So then let's reverse it now. We're gonna go elevate, forward, down, back, up, reverse, down, forward, up, back, boom. 1 more here. So elevate, forward, just trying to reach as much as possible without moving through the spine, down, back, up, down, forward, up, back, and shake it off if you need to. So with 2 moves, we just isolated our glenohumeral or actual shoulder mobility, our scapular mobility, since those go hand in hand, and then next we're gonna solidify that mobility with a little bit of stability work. So you're gonna lie on your left side. So if I'm up, and we call this a high oblique position, I'm gonna drop down to my elbow. We call this a low oblique, so hips in front of us at about a 90-90 here. And then from here, we're gonna push the ground away, pack that shoulder down, and then we're gonna think about folding our torso into our shoulder joint. So I'm folding forward until I feel like I can't go anymore, and then I'm driving hand and forearm back into the ground to rotate my torso back up. Not a ton of movement, but if you can isolate this, man, you'll feel your rotator cuffs smoking, and this is one of my favorite upper body warm-up exercises to warm up that rotator cuff. So this is a great way to solidify some of the mobility changes we just made, so then we can hold on to those ranges for longer periods of time. So for this one, I'm gonna do a solid 6 of these. So this is my 3rd one. Again, if it's nice, slow, controlled movement, you should feel activation the whole time. So even as I'm folding down, I'm pressing into the ground here, so I feel my whole arm contracting. Most of it's right around that shoulder joint itself, and that's when you know that rotator cuff is starting to smoke right now. So here's number 5. Again, just really pushing ground away from me. I'm not doing anything for my torso. I'm using all of the momentum of pressing into the ground through this arm, and that's how you really isolate that side. Again, minimum effective dose. Only takes minutes, if that, to get that shoulder and that rotator cuff warm. And man, I feel like I just did a pretty intense workout and I didn't need any equipment at all. So you guessed it, we're gonna move to the other side to finish this off. So again, if we're slouched here, pack that shoulder down, push the ground away from you, fold that torso into that shoulder joint until we run out of room, and then drive that hand and forearm into the ground to rotate back up. So there's 1. We're gonna do a solid 5 more here. Again, a lot of these moves today are kind of slow and controlled, so this might be longer than 5 minutes, but in less than 10 minutes, you can have your shoulders moving and grooving. Since it's the most mobile joint in your whole body, you gotta learn how to brush and floss it appropriately. So folding in, really driving. Again, if I zoom in on myself, I'm gonna be shaking a little bit here. Not a ton of movement, but if we can isolate it, it's gonna be super effective. Nice. You can tell I'm a little bit tighter on this side today. Again, folding in, drive into the ground. You should be breaking a sweat a little bit. And if you have an upper body day at the gym this week, then you should do this routine beforehand to help get warmed up for your workout. So there's 3 moves. That was probably closer to 7 or 8 minutes, but under 10. I promised to always keep it under 10. And I pulled this routine from my Shoulder Mobility 101 program. So if you haven't checked out my online membership, I'll put that in the description below. And right now I have a 7-day free trial. So if you have any shoulder issues going on, or you feel like it's one of your weakest links because you always have stiffness there, then check out that program and do the first week for free. Until next week, Mob, let's get moving.